Hey everyone, welcome to week 2 of CRJ 490, the capstone seminar in criminal justice. This week we're going to begin talking about your actual research and what you plan to do with it in outlining your final paper. So one of the things I want to talk about that's a building block, a sort of bigger important building block, is how to conduct your research so that you have valid information from which to draw conclusions at the end. There are two main methods, techniques of gathering data or research for any kind of academic project. You have qualitative research and you have quantitative research. Now, I'm sure even if you've never formally studied the difference between the two, you'll recognize it as we describe it and as you read about it this week because you've experienced them in your everyday life. Qualitative research is a look at the holistic being. So it's not looking specifically at numbers, it's looking at whether or not programs are being achieved, people are being satisfied, and using language to determine success. It's essentially using what a common technique in qualitative research is the Likert statement. Now, I'm sure you've seen them, even if, like I said, you haven't been told about them. If you've ever taken a survey for a fast food restaurant or a grocery store or anyone, you've seen a statement that says, how likely are you to recommend this to a friend? How satisfied were you with your experience today? And it asks you to rate it on a scale from somewhat satisfied or very dissatisfied all the way up to very satisfied. Those are called Likert scales, and that's one of the primary ways in which we conduct research for qualitative purposes. As the name implies, it suggests quality. So these Likert statements are then translated using a numerical scale into numbers, which are then processed with many of the same formulas that are used in quantitative research. Now, quantitative research is exactly that. It looks at quantity, so it is looking only at numbers. It doesn't look at anything outside of that, such as satisfaction. So if a program is intended to garner a certain percentage of the marketplace in getting a purchase, then you can measure success by looking specifically at that market percentage. Or if it's looking at reducing crime in a particular area, you can measure that progress using hard statistics gathered from any of a number of sources. So there are dozens and dozens of different formulas that will help you in doing that. There are five big ones: mean, median, mode, etc. So that's all inside the text this week, and I hope you get a good grasp on it from that. But just essentially know that there are two very different means of collecting the data, but they don't necessarily work opposite each other. They can work in concert with each other. Qualitative research is typically done more in program management, whereas quantitative research or numbers is usually looking at success. So that's a big difference between the two. You'll probably likely use both of them in combination through your research. But like I said, you'll determine what is needed as you go through your research project. And then uh, this week's reading will help you determine what you need. So if you have any questions, feel free to shout. We have a live meeting later this week. So make sure you jump on that. I'll be happy to field any questions about this or any other topic at that point. So good luck this week.